Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we are tackling something that I think everyone dreads, but it's so important. We're looking at navigating system overload and supporting colleagues who are, well, verging on collapse.
And this is a classic for the MSRA SJT, isn't it? It's that horrible intersection where safety, leadership, and your professional duties all just collide.
Exactly. So our mission today is to try and distill all that complex guidance, from good medical practice and so on, into a really practical step-by-step way of thinking.
Yeah, a framework that not only scores you the points in the exam, but more importantly, actually makes you a safer doctor when things are really falling apart.
Okay, so let's just dive right in. Let's set the scene with that. That classic SJT dilemma that makes your heart rate spike just reading it.
Go on.
You're the F2 on the evening take. It's 9 p.m. You walk onto the ward and you can just feel it. Your FY1 colleague is standing there, clearly close to tears, holding a bunch of bleeps. You have two really unstable patients, maybe new WS2 scores of 6 or higher, who need seeing right now. At the same time, a critical result has just landed on the system, and your registrar is stuck in resus with a massive bleed.
Right. Unavailable.
Completely unavailable. It's chaos. The system is failing. So in that exact moment, with risk just soaring, what is your first move?
Okay. So the single most important truth for this topic is this. The highest score comes from you initiating what we call safety-led leadership. Instantly.
Safety-led leadership.
It means you have to stabilize the system. You stop, you reprioritize based on pure clinical risk, you share the workload safely, you escalate for more help early, and then you record what changed.
That phrase is so key. But why does the MSRA focus on the scenario so much? I mean, it seems obvious, right? Help your colleague.
It seems obvious, but it's testing so much more than just compassion. It's testing your competence at a system level. When one person is overwhelmed, suddenly all your GMC duties are at risk. We're talking safe delegation, supervision, keeping records, working with colleagues. It all starts to wobble.
So the exam is really asking, can you uphold professional standards when the pressure is on?
Precisely. It's not about being nice, it's about being accountable. The GMC is very clear, especially in the new guidelines, that civility and respect are actually safety tools.
How so?
Well, because blame or sarcasm or even just silence, when you see someone struggling, that damages the team. It makes errors more likely. So the SJT rewards visible actions that reduce that risk.
That brings up a really interesting tension, something I think we all feel.
Yeah.
How do you balance that need for safety with, your own professional reputation? If I call the consultant because my FY1 is struggling, does that make me look like I can't cope?
That is the perfect question. And it's why the idea of early escalation scores so highly. The GMC doesn't expect you to magically fix short staffing or a ward full of sick patients.
Right.
It expects you to recognize when the total clinical risk is higher than your team's capacity to handle.
So it's a threshold.
Exactly.
Right.
If you wait for the patient to arrest before you call for help, you failed. But if you call proactively and say, look, we have 2 unstable patients, a critical result, and a colleague who's distressed, our risk threshold is exceeded, we need help. That's not weakness.
That's leadership.
That is high-level, safety-led system thinking. You're protecting patients, and that actually protects your reputation.
Sure.
Shows you put safety before ego.
I love that. Recognizing when the risk threshold is exceeded, that's the mindset shift.
It is. The safest doctor immediately recognizes the overload and acts to stabilize things. And that starts with spotting the red flags.
Okay, let's listen. These are the triggers in the exam, the warning signs that mean you have to stop what you're doing and intervene. So first, an unattended critical result. That's a direct, immediate threat. You deal with that before you do anything else routine.
Absolutely. Non-negotiable.
Second, repeated missed obs or bleeps. This is like the canary in the coal mine, right? It's telling you the whole system is overwhelmed.
Yeah, the basic safety net is failing.
Third, and this is a big one, a visibly impaired colleague. Someone who's tearful, distressed, exhausted, their ability to think clearly is compromised. They need support and supervision now. And fourth, no senior cover for an unstable caseload. If you've got sick patients and your reg is tied up, your next job is to find that cover, whether it's the site manager or the on-call consultant.
And if you see any one of those, you have to start a systematic response. We call it the exam speed run. It's a 5-step sequence that brings order to the chaos.
Okay, let's walk through it.
So step 1, scan the risks and capacity. You literally have to stop for a second and ask, what is the single biggest thing that could harm a patient right now?
So you're not just rushing to the nearest fire.
No, you're finding the biggest fire. Then, step 2. Reprioritize with a visible list. This is so important. You grab your colleague, you grab a whiteboard or a piece of paper, and you have a 2-minute huddle. List the top 3 priorities. It focuses everyone's effort.
Gets it out of your heads and onto paper.
Exactly. Then step 3, delegate using SBAR and a check back. Now, you know the priorities, you can share them out, but you have to do it safely.
Okay, let's pause on SBR because I think we all use it for handover, but maybe not so much for delegating a quick task. What does that actually sound like?
That's a great point. SBR is situation, background, assessment, recommendation. So instead of just saying, can you chase that CT result, you structure it.
Give me an example.
Okay, situation. We've got the patient in bed 7 who is unstable. Background, they're post-op, now hypotensive, we're worried about a bleed. Assessment, the CT result is the most critical piece of information we need. Recommendation, please chase that result now. If it shows a bleed, call the surgeons immediately. Report back to me in 5 minutes either way.
Ah, okay, so it's not just the what, it's the why and the what if.
And the check back is the final part of that. You ask them to quickly repeat back the task and the plan. It closes the loop. It's the only way to be sure the message was received correctly under pressure.
That just sounds so much safer than a panicked shout across the ward.
It is. It's structure. Okay, back to the framework. Step 4 is escalate early. If, after all that, you're still drowning, you have to get external help. Call the senior, call the site manager.
Don't be a hero.
Don't be a hero. And finally, step 5, document decisions and set a review time. You make a note. New plan discussed. I'm taking task X, F1 taking task Y. We will review in 30 minutes. It's about accountability.
That's a really powerful structure. To help it stick, we've got a mnemonic for this. We call it support. So S is for scan risk, that first look around. U is update priorities, get that list visible. P is for pair up or buddy with your colleague. The second P is past tasks with SBAR.
And the check back.
And the check back. O is for organize escalation. R is for rest, briefly, so important. And T is for tie off, which means document and set that review time.
And that P for pairing is really crucial. It's not about taking all the work away from them. That can be quite undermining.
Right.
The best approach is to buddy and coach. So for a difficult task, maybe you say, okay, I'll make this next difficult phone call. You listen in. Then for the next one, you do it, and I'll be right here to support you.
So you're building competence at the same time as managing the risk. It's leadership, not just a rescue mission.
Exactly.
Okay, let's bring this right into the exam room. Let's talk about the specific patterns the SJT uses.
Let's do it.
Pattern 1, the overwhelmed team. This is our opening scenario. The FY1 is panicking. What's actually being tested here?
It's testing safety-led reprioritization. The best answer is one that brings order before action. Something like, let's pause for 2 minutes and list the top 3 risks. I'll call the rake while you get urgent obs on the patient in bed 4.
So you're dividing and conquering.
Yes. You prioritize, you delegate, and you escalate, all in one move.
But pausing for 2 minutes, I mean, in that chaos, it feels so counterintuitive. It feels inefficient.
It's paradoxically the most efficient thing you can do. Rushing around in chaos guarantees you'll miss something critical. 2 minutes of planning can save an hour of high-risk, inefficient work.
Okay. Pattern 2, difficult task delegation. So a high-risk task, like chasing a critical result or dealing with an angry relative. What's the test?
It's testing your ability to delegate safely. You can't just dump a high-stakes task on a struggling junior. The best action is that supervisory one we talked about. I'll take this one, you listen, then you take the next one, and I'll supervise. It provides scaffolding.
Right. And pattern 3, post-crisis documentation. The emergency is over, the shift is ending. What are they looking for now?
Accountability and traceability. You have to close the loop. The best answer will always be about making the new plan clear to everyone. Something like, I'm documenting the new plan and who owns each task. We'll have a team review in 30 minutes.
It's about ensuring the new plan actually sticks.
And that the safety net is back in place.
Fantastic. Now for the fun part. Let's talk about the traps. The answers that sound plausible, but will just sink your score.
Okay, trap 1. The blame response. Options like tell them to speed up or tell them to just cope.
Why does that fail so badly?
It's a huge breach of professional civility. It does nothing to solve the safety risk, and it actually makes errors more likely by stressing your colleague out. It's unprofessional and unsafe.
Okay, trap 2. Ignoring it. So finish your own list first, then see if they need help.
A massive fail. You have seen a visible risk to patient safety. You now have a degree of responsibility. Ignoring it is a failure of leadership.
Right. Trap 3. avoiding escalation. This is the I don't want to bother the consultant response.
Yeah, and it fails because if the system's capacity is exceeded, you are required to escalate. Trying to manage alone when you're out of your depth is not resilient, it's reckless. Resilience is knowing when to ask for the right help.
And the last one, trap 4, vague task dumping. Just saying something like, keep an eye on things and bleep me if you're worried.
This is just unsafe delegation. What does keep an eye mean? What are the thresholds for bleeping? There's no SBAR, no checkback. You can delegate a task, but you can't delegate accountability.
That's such a key phrase. You can't delegate accountability. Okay, to really hammer this home, let's do 3 rapid-fire examples. Situation, and then the immediate high-scoring action.
Go for it.
A critical result is pending, and the team is swamped.
You act on that result yourself immediately, or you delegate it with a crystal clear SBAR briefing and a closed-loop checkback.
The team's capacity is exceeded. Too many sick patients, not enough staff.
You escalate to a senior or the site manager immediately. You state clearly that the clinical risk exceeds the team's capacity to manage it safely.
And what if a colleague refuses help, maybe out of pride or embarrassment?
You acknowledge their feelings, but you have to be firm and kind. State that patient safety is the priority. You frame it as a system issue, not their personal failing, and you escalate the capacity issue to a senior anyway.
This has been such a useful deep dive. Let's finish with the 3 key takeaways that you absolutely need to remember.
Okay, number 1, safety first. When you feel that chaos, stop. Name the risks, hold a quick huddle, and make a visible priority list.
Number 2.
Share the workload safely. Match the task to the person's competence, use SBAR for clarity, and always get a check back.
And the 3rd.
Escalate early, proactively. Don't wait for disaster, and then document everything.
Yeah.
The decision, who owns what and when you'll review.
And I think it's important to remember that every time you use this framework, you're not just scoring points on an exam. You are literally embodying what the GMC wants from a good doctor. You're building safer systems. It's proactive leadership, not just reactive heroics.
Well said.
If you want to practice these kinds of scenarios and get deeper into the frameworks we've talked about today, you can find a huge bank of questions and resources over at passthemsra.com.
And just remember, your ability to stabilize the system when it's under pressure is your single best defense against making an error. It's a skill, and you can learn it.